Are the 49ers runaway Super Bowl contenders? Is Brock Purdy the MVP? Is it Dak? Is it even a quarterback? Is the dynasty in Kansas City crumbling before our eyes? That and much more on today's jam-packed episode of the BallGame podcast. Welcome back. I'm Tom.
I'm horny. Oh, my God. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
First of all, just want to say to you guys before you do that, Tom, that was fucking beautiful and full-time, no questions asked.
All right.
That is your
Got a new job, guys.
Also, I'm very happy to be back, and I do appreciate you guys for the well wishes and stuff on the last podcast. That did mean a lot to me. So, Tom, go ahead. Take that over. This table's going to fuck
All right, so Tupac got shot all over again, bro.
Fix him. There we go.
We have Pete in the back. Yeah, Pete and Nick are here.
Yeah, welcome Pete and Nick, our
Shout out
newest,
to you guys.
our executive staff.
Yo, we're taking off soon. We're taking off soon.
All right. All right, so before we get into everything, I just want to ask you guys one quick favor. If you like what you're seeing, drop a like, hit subscribe, ring that bell. That's the best way to let us know what content you like and what to get out more of.
Follow us on all of our socials.
Follow us on all of our socials. Yes, hit us up everywhere. We want to hear from you. So, like I said, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. How was your day, guys?
My day was horrible.
Horrible.
Terrible. But you know what? Good vibes. I'm happy to be here.
Fuck it, we ball.
I'm happy to be here. Chris, how about yours?
My day was calm. I went to the gym. I went to the mall, bought a new hat.
What?
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 That's really it. I got some new skincare stuff.
Word, that's the shit.
Yeah, I went to Target, did a little
Men's health.
men's health, skincare.
Mental health, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, my day was good.
Look good, feel good, baby.
I've been looking forward to this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Me as well.
All right, so we'll jump right into everything then. So the 49ers walked in to Philadelphia. They pulled up and dismantled the Eagles, score 42-19. Deebo Samuel walked in there with black Air Forces and a bad attitude, and he walked out with 3 touchdowns. The guy absolutely balled out. The Eagles got absolutely murdered. So as I said in the intro, what I wanted to ask you guys because it's clear 49ers are the favorites to win the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. Are they runaway favorites? Like, is it them and no one else?
We had this exact same segment last week with the Eagles.
Yeah.
My answer is going to be no. They're not. They should be the betting favorite. Yeah. They are the favorite. Are they runaway favorites? No. I think it's anyone's game. I think on a good day the Eagles could still beat them. I think on a good day the Cowboys could beat them. But as of right now, you have to say they're the best team in the NFC. It's clear as day. I mean, in the 2 arguably biggest games of the year, when the Niners played the Cowboys, and now this past week where the Niners traveled to Philadelphia to play the Eagles on the road, they stomped them out, both of them. Their biggest competition in the biggest games of the regular season, they stomped them out. So you really got to say they're the best team in the NFL right now.
So maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, but my answer is yes. And it's pretty simple why. When Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel are both playing, the 49ers simply don't lose, and the games aren't even remotely close. I don't see it with any other team. This is the most complete team in the NFL. They could beat you in literally any type of way. You want to have a physical, grinded-out type of game, of course they have the run game. Brock Purdy has proven himself to be able to win games if he needs to. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle can all take over games. Like, all you got to do is throw him a 5-yard slant, and all of a sudden Deebo's going 70. So,
yep.
And then if you need to make it just a low-scoring, defensive-minded game, they have the best pass rush in the NFL, and that just lends to everything else. So I absolutely think that the 49ers are the runaway favorites. Does that mean they can't be beaten? No, by no means. But they should be the overwhelming betting favorites from this point forward due to the fact that they smacked around both their main competition.
So I agree. The point I wanted to make was when you said they've lost 3 games. They lost one to Cleveland, which they were about 3 feet of a field goal away from winning.
Yes.
Lost.
And bad reffing.
Yeah, bad reffing. And a bad game. Like, everyone's going to have a bad game, right? The other 2 games they lost were without Deebo and Trent Williams. So the point you made with those two guys, they smoke everyone. It's not even close. I'm totally with you. I think the 49ers at this point are runaway favorites.
So I do still have a couple stats. Like, of course, I needed to bring some sort of stats to back up the argument. But in the last 5 weeks, because this is what I like to usually do, I only want to go back to the last 5 games or so. Because, like, going past that is, like, it's a different team for all we know. So the last 5 weeks, San Francisco is first in EPA per play, success rate per play, and drop back EPA. That is all offensively. They're second in drop back success rate behind the Cowboys and second in rush success rate behind the Ravens. Their defense is second in EPA per play, fifth in drop back EPA, ninth in drop back success rate. But the only issue is they're 14th in rush EPA and success rate. But 14th is not bad by any means. As I said, a ton of ways to win. And first and second in almost every category is something.
Yeah, they can beat you in every facet of the game.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
So Debo, Ayuk, Kittle might be the most impressive trio of pass catchers in the entire NFL. And then you have McCaff in the backfield.
I don't think in recent history, at least, I don't think I've ever seen someone talk their shit and back it up as well as
Debo just did.
I mean, the guy was like, James Bradbury, trash. And then he went for 3 touchdowns and 138 yards. Like that. Like I said, I've never seen that before. I've seen plenty of guys talk their shit and get locked up, but that was crazy. That was something special by Debo.
It was wild because of the fact that, like, the touchdowns that he had too weren't like he just burned a guy. Like, he made sure they knew, like, not only can, like, I beat you off the line, I'll also just throw you all.
You
like,
felt
off of
all
me.
138 of those
Exactly.
yards. He made the Eagles feel that.
Like, you're smaller than me. That's pretty much what he told everyone on the Eagles on defense, and then just went out and proved it, like, entirely. So, how do you feel about this team in general right now?
I mean, it was a very interesting game because the way it started off, it looked like it was going to be a defensive battle. You know, both teams were a little bit out of sync. I mean, the Niners didn't get a first down until the second quarter, and the Eagles drove down on them, but left points on the board. The first 3 drives, you come away with 6 points. It's against this 49ers team, that's not enough. And then, I mean, we all saw it. The 49ers offense just got in that mode and scored 6 straight touchdowns on 6 straight drives.
Ridiculous.
And I don't think any team is going to beat them when their offense is grooving like that. It's a tough ask. But the way the Eagles started the game, they were in a position to make it a game. And honestly, in the first quarter, they were in a position to put the Niners away. They were driving down the field, and my biggest gripe with this game in terms of the Eagles is this was not a good Jalen Hurts performance. And, if you look at the box score, you'll see Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown both got near 100 yards, 8+ targets and receptions, I think. But Jalen Hurts was getting time in the pocket. He had time to sit there in the pocket, and I think it's a credit to the 49ers secondary because Jalen Hurts was just sitting in that pocket waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing seemed to be getting open because at some point, Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave and Chase Young and all these guys, they're going to get to you. And, I mean, that's like I said, the box score will say the Eagles receivers 8. But if you watch the game, Charvarius Ward and those guys, they were locking up. Jalen Hurts was standing in that pocket for 5+ seconds and had nowhere to go with the ball. And then, like I said, the 49ers offense just got in that mode. They were able to run the ball on first and second down. The Eagles were not. And that's just, you're going to set yourself at a disadvantage when you're playing like that. The Niners are getting 6-7 yard runs on first down, setting up second and short to where not only is that easier to convert, but second and short, you could take a shot play to Ayuk, a shot play to Debo. The Eagles, on the other hand, it was a run on first and second down, run for 3 yards on first down, get it to 2nd and 7, get no yards on second down. Now you're at 3rd and 7. You're at 3rd and long every time. You're setting yourself at a disadvantage. I mean, like I said, the main conclusion is when the Niners offense is rolling like this, like, there's no stopping them. More than anything, Brock Purdy was really good in this game. McCaffrey was really good in this game. Debo obviously was great in this game. More than anything, it was a Kyle Shanahan masterclass. Masterclass. The like I said, the run game from the second quarter on, it seemed like they were getting 5+ yards every single time they ran the ball. It was just a masterclass. They looked in this specific game, they looked like they were in a class of their own.
They're missing their coordinators is something else I took away from this for the
Philly?
Philly. Yeah, Philly. Philly is missing their coordinators big time.
So that was everyone has been saying all season they just haven't hit their stride. They haven't hit their stride. And that was my whole thing is they lost their coordinator. So like maybe they're just not this is them. Like this is who the Eagles are, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that they've turned into a team that it's like the blowouts from last year are now just it's close games. Even against like inferior competition. I will also say one thing. Their last 6 games have been a gauntlet, to be fair. This team looked exhausted. If I went back to 7 games, it was when they lost to the Jets. The Jets' defense is unbelievable, right? Next after that, they had the Dolphins in primetime. We remember that. They had the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, and then the Niners. We're talking about a gauntlet of some of the best teams in the entire NFL. So by the end of that, you know, you're going to be a little bit gassed at that point. So it seemed like in the second half, the Eagles just didn't have any more juice. They were done. They were finished. And the Niners put their foot directly on the Eagles' throat, as they should have.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy made a statement. I will say that. Brock Purdy made a statement.
I saw on the Pat McAfee show, Boston Connor said he was plus 950 in Sunday morning to win the MVP. And by the end of the day, he was like plus 150. He was the favorite.
You know what's crazy? I was at work, I think last Monday, because I work every Monday. So it's after NFL Sunday. I work with Joe Cruz. So we work Sunday mornings too. So we're not together for the afternoon games and the Sunday night game. Mm-hmm. So I see Joe Cruz Monday afternoon. We talk about, the afternoon games and the night game. I said to Joe, ESPN was on, and they were showing the MVP odds. I said to Joe Cruz, I said, yo, Brock Purdy at plus 1,300's looking real good right now. He said, nah, bro, you'd be an idiot to do that. I said, bro, I might tell my guy, because we can't place bets on the awards in New York.
Right.
So I might tell
bro.
I told him, I'm like, I might tell my guy to put $50 on that for me. He said, bro, trust me, you're making a mistake if you do that. So I didn't do it. And
Joe Cruz isn't the one with the podcast.
Always L takes.
And now Brock Purdy is the MVP favorite.
To win the MVP.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Look, at this
I would have
point,
cashed that shit out. Left it in for a week and cashed out.
I do not think that. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have an MVP discussion at some point today. I'm pretty sure we had the plan.
I think that's the next topic.
That's the next topic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna just jump straight into that just yet. But I wouldn't bet on it now. But prior to the season, I think his odds were like plus 3,300. Like, imagine you put a bet on Brock Purdy prior to the season, bro. Ridiculous. Nah, he's been unbelievable. And then, I mean, as I said, yeah, I'm not putting too much into it. It's also just, as you said, Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan makes a lot of these quarterbacks look really fucking good. But Brock has proven that he's on another level than these other guys. I will give him that.
Absolutely.
But like among qualified receivers, we have Debo at 1st in yards after the catch. We have Ayuk at 30th in yards after the catch. That's among all receivers with at least 26 targets. And then Kittle, among tight ends with 21 targets, is 3rd in Yak. So Yak.
So where this is, Tuesday night, we're recording this now. So a lot of other people have gotten their, week 13 reactions out. So a lot of people were talking about the yards after catch with Brock Purdy. And
it's a testament to him, is what you're going to say.
The average NFL quarterback, about 48% of their yards are yards after the catch. That's about where Brock Purdy is. And then the last few MVPs, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I think the only one who was below the average was Lamar when he won MVP. He was at like 43%, which is outlandish.
Insane.
But all those guys, Mahomes and Rodgers, the past 4 years when they've won, were above 50%. So Brock Purdy's he's not like a merchant, you know what I mean, in comparison to everyone else. Like, he's really not. Obviously, like, when you say it like that he has the number 1 guy in the league, you're going to think, well, wow, this guy's a yards after catch merchant. But in terms of the percentage of yards, he's really not.
Yeah. Okay. I actually didn't.
Yeah, I saw that same graphic.
Did not see that.
Whatever Nick Wright's show is, I don't know what it is, but I saw that same graphic where like the past 5 or 6
what
MVPs.
Is it, first things first?
Yeah.
Something like that.
First things first. He's great, by the way. Nick Wright is really good at what he does.
But yeah, I saw that same graphic.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, this wasn't an MVP performance by Brock Purdy. He was good in this game. The stats look good. He had 4 passing touchdowns, but I mean, he wasn't great.
My bad.
He wasn't great.
So I'm gonna segue into that. The MVP is really like bugging me this year, and I wanted to get on and ask you guys. Like I said in the intro, is Dak the MVP? Because right after that Thursday night game, I think I said in the group chat, I was like, we got to talk about Dak being like the MVP favorite right now.
I said that I wanted to have Dak conversations. Yeah.
And then this happened, and it's Brock Purdy. And last week it was Jalen Hurts. The first few weeks of the season, we thought it was Brock Purdy. Jared Goff snuck his way in there. Tua was locked in. Lamar could come back next week, have a good game, and he'll be the MVP
All of a sudden
favorite.
Yeah.
So my question is, with these quarterbacks, they're having great years, but the MVP is a quarterback award. We all know this. We all say this. This is why we think Brock Purdy, Hurts, or Dak are going to win it. I just think with those guys, and this might sound like it's going to discredit them more than it is, but I think when you look at Brock Purdy, like you said with the Shanahan system, and everyone says that, there are other guys that I think if you plug in this system can give you near just as good results as Brock Purdy. Same with Dak. With Hurts and Lamar, the list is shorter. And obviously with Dak, the list is shorter. What I'm getting at is when I look at Christian McCaffrey, A.J. Brown, and Tyreek Hill, those 3 guys in particular, I don't think you can put anyone in their spots. Maybe, I don't know, A.J. Brown's had a couple of down games. Maybe he's in there, but you can't put anyone else in Tyreek Hill's spot and get the same results from that Miami offense. I don't think you could do it with McCaffrey either. Why not one of those guys to win MVP? I think Tyreek Hill should be. If I was picking the MVP today.
Who did I circle?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
Why not one of those guys? Why does it have to be a quarterback award when I don't think these quarterbacks are the most valuable player on their team this year?
So you said it perfectly, because who can I insert into Tyreek Hill's situation that can replicate or even come close to what Tyreek has done?
There might not be a single player ever that you could put in there. That's a legitimate argument. That
what he's capable of,
exactly.
His skill set is unlike really anything that we've ever seen. If you see the guys in the past that are speed receivers, like a Deshaun Jackson, there were still flaws to their game.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, you look at Tyreek, what's the flaw? He's a great route runner. He's a great contested catch.
He's 5'10" and goes up like he's 6'3".
Exactly. Like, he's got strong hands. He limits his drops. And then obviously, like, bro, you send him on a go route. Who the hell is who is keeping up with him? And then not only that, he opens up so much more for your offense just because of the threat of the speed that you always have to send safety help. And if you don't, you end up like Washington, where it's 5 catches, 150 plus, and 2 touchdowns. So we knew that secondary was burnt toast. We knew that was fucking finished. But he likely, health permitting, is going to pass 2,000 yards, which is ridiculous. Never happened before from a receiver. And that is just, in and of itself, in my opinion, more than enough. You get Mike McDaniel there, he gets Tyreek, and then it was a match made in heaven. And Tua's been phenomenal. I take nothing away. But Tyreek has just been so different that if you took Tyreek and put in literally any other receiver, it wouldn't work to this extent. So I want to say
16 yards per catch. I was just looking at that.
Yeah, and his average depth of target is not average depth of target. I'm sorry, but his yards per route run is like 4.4, and the next highest is like 3.01 in Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, so the difference in that is an average wide receiver in the NFL, 1.3. That's how ridiculous it is. So yeah, the shit that he's doing is unlike anything I've seen. And it's tough because I would be between him and Dak if the season ended today. That's my personal opinion.
So you guys know how I feel about Tyreek Hill. That's one of my favorite players of all time. He's the best receiver I've watched with my own 2 eyes. He's that good, and he's having that good of a season right now. But the MVP is a quarterback award for a reason. Quarterback is the hardest position to play, arguably in all of sports. And just, yes, you could say There's more guys that could come into Dak Prescott's situation and do what Dak's doing than Tyreek Hill's situation. But what goes into doing that situation at a high level is so much more complex at the quarterback position than it is the receiver position. And it's just that's just how it is. Like that,
Quarterback's a harder position to play.
And also, it's just by extent, someone has to get the guy the ball. It's the unfortunate truth of the matter.
Right,
they don't have the ball every play.
Right, the quarterback has the ball every single play. I mean, you look at a guy like Dak Prescott. Like, I don't know how many guys are going in and doing what Dak's doing this year.
Not many, to be fair. Yeah, not many.
Dak had a down year last year. Led the league in interceptions. Was getting clowned all offseason. They fired Kellen Moore. Everyone says this Cowboys offense is going to take a back seat. Mike McCarthy is going to be fired by week 7.
I think so.
This Cowboys offense.
It was rough to start.
It was. This Cowboys offense isn't going to be the same. And then, since they got blown out to the 49ers, since week 7, Dak Prescott is just on another level right now. And in terms of the quarterbacks in the league since week 7, he's first in EPA per play by a wide margin at a .392. The next closest is Trevor Lawrence at a .276. Like, he has 2 interceptions over that span, multiple games with 300 yards, multiple games with 3+ touchdowns. He's just been playing the quarterback at a level that no one else in the league is playing it at. And it's not a situation like Brock Purdy, and it's not a situation like Jalen Hurts, where he's doing it with all of this help on offense. The Cowboys' offense is good, but Dak Prescott is elevating them right now.
Yeah.
Because it was those same players weeks 1 through 6 on that offense. What's the changing factor between weeks 1 and 6 and week 7 on? The play of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is elevating this team, therefore making him the MVP.
I agree, but I do think that also there was a change in philosophy after that. CeeDee Lamb, after that week, became arguably the best receiver in the entire NFL because Dallas decided, okay, we're going to start getting this guy the ball more because we have a generation over talent at receiver right now. So, and then obviously that opened up things for Brandon Cooks from that point forward. Jake Ferguson's been good. Not saying that those guys are great at this point. Dak has most definitely elevated them. But I'm just saying there was a very large stylistic change to where they were like, okay, we're getting CeeDee the ball more, like for sure. But someone has to get
him the ball, right?
Someone has to get them the ball. And Dak's been doing it just about as good as anyone.
I don't know. I think it's not good that the setup is the way it is, where the award is called the MVP and then the award is called the Offensive Player of the Year. It'd be better if the award was called Best Quarterback, Best Skill Position Player, Defensive Player of the Year. Those are the 3 main awards because it makes more sense, and that's how the awards go normally. But like I said, the MVP is just a quarterback award. So I don't know.
Because they are inherently more valuable. Yeah. They elevate talent around them more so than any other position, just because it's it's how it has to be.
And it's just like we were saying, how so much goes into playing the quarterback position and how it's different than every other position. It's just like, how do I measure a quarterback's value compared to a wide receiver's value, where a wide receiver like Tyreek Hill, what did he have in this past game? 5 catches?
Yeah.
So a wide receiver who touches the ball 5 times compared to a quarterback who's throwing the ball 40 times. Like, how am I measuring who's more valuable?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a hard thing to do. So if there was a fix for it, it would be to rename the awards, which they're not going to do. But I think it just makes sense to have it, like, separated. Like, here's a quarterback award. Here's a skill position award. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Never in NFL history has a wide receiver won the award. We've had running backs.
Yeah.
We've never had the wide receiver.
2012 was the last
and Sean Alexander prior to that. Yeah. So it's tough, but yeah, it is.
Like Dak since week 7, he's averaging like just doing quick math in my head, not actually doing the math, but he's averaging about 300 yards per game, and about probably the number would be like 3.1 or 2.8 8 touchdowns per game, and he only has 2 interceptions in that span.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly, to me, Dak Prescott is clearly playing the quarterback position at the best level this season.
He's also sat out like 3 fourth quarters in that span.
Yeah, to me, the only real competition in terms of who's playing the quarterback the best is it's a race between Dak. It's a race between Lamar. It's a race between Mahomes. You got to have Mahomes in there just because of who he is. And CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. I'd even argue
you got to
get thrown in there.
Throw Tua in there. Throw Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, and Tua are probably in the same exact tier of MVP argument right now. And they have the same arguments. They've won some games. They're on some good teams. They have some pretty good stats, but they also have a shit ton of help. It's kind of the argument for all three of them.
Yeah.
So, kind of in the same tier. The other guys, look at a guy like Dak. I really believe Dak is really elevating those around him this year. You look at CJ Stroud. We know CJ Stroud's elevating those around him.
Yeah.
Mahomes, even though, the wins and losses and the counting stats aren't the best, Mahomes is elevating everyone around him because his fucking receiver core is god-awful.
So bad.
Lamar Jackson doing the same stuff, you know what I mean? So I think those are the 4 guys in the conversation right now. Like I said, Brock, Tua, and Hurts are definitely in the conversation just because of the team success, but it's an interesting conversation. I think it's fine to say Tyreek Hill is having a generational type season, and he's the best skill position player. Here's the Offensive Player of the Year award. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dak
I don't think it's crazy to call him the most valuable player in football, though. I know it's a quarterback award, but I really don't think it's that crazy.
I get it. It's just to me, it's just. So we're talking about value, right? So can we, as a collective, the 3 of us, link, in some regard, value to who you would take to start your team? In some regard, those 2 would be linked?
Yeah, no shot you're taking Tyreek over.
Right.
Probably.
I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all, that question there, but that's a part of it, right? If we're measuring value, then we have to measure who we would take if we were starting a team from scratch. So,
if you had 1 year, would he be the first non-quarterback that you would take?
No. Probably take some defensive players.
Probably take a
defensive edge rusher. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. I was just wondering.
Probably
skill position-wise,
Miles, Micah, and TJ, and then Tyreek Hill.
Skill position-wise, no question. I take him first, yeah.
Him or McCaff. I feel like that's the only thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would
take
Tyreek.
Tyreek.
But
I get it. Like, he's having arguably the best receiver season of all time. Like, there's a case for him to be the MVP. And I wouldn't get on here and start bashing the NFL if he won the MVP.
Right.
I have a hard time, like I said, measuring value in terms of quarterback versus skill position.
Yeah, the name of the award really does. We talk about it in basketball too, how like most valuable player doesn't always capture.
They've been getting it right.
Yeah.
Semi recently, for the most part, but yeah, I will ask this to you guys real quick before we move on from this like encompassing like thing that we were on. As for the Eagles, just obviously we had our whole MVP discussion. How do we feel? Are they like? Is there a panic meter? Do we think they're fine?
I think they're fine.
They're fine in terms of their outlook for the season, but can they beat the 49ers? I guess they can, but if I gotta bet it, I'm smashing the 49ers. Obviously, they just smoked them. Like I feel like that's the obvious answer, and they went into their home and did it too. But I think the Eagles are fine. I think their secondary is a legitimate concern, though.
What I was gonna say.
Yeah,
their defense is.
If they can, and their offense. I know you sent that tweet in the group chat the other day about how the Eagles are like the Celtics.
Oh yeah,
the Celtics are like the Eagles in that they rely on their talent to just elevate them all the time, rather than like coordination and all that. And I think that could be a problem in the playoffs. Like if they get into a shootout with Dallas and they're just not, or San Francisco, if they get into a shootout and they're just not on the same level. That could be a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right.
So our next topic here is a team we mentioned briefly, the Kansas City Chiefs. Is the dynasty over? It's obviously a crazy overreaction. But They lost to. I'm trying to pull up the score. It was 27-19. They lost to the Packers in primetime. You guys want to start with the Chiefs?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
How
worried are you guys about the Chiefs, man?
I already know you guys aren't going to like what I'm about to say, and it's going to be controversial.
That's what we live for.
The Chiefs have no fucking chance of winning the Super Bowl this year. I love Pat. He's unreal. He's the best quarterback in the world, no questions asked, all of that. They have no chance of winning the Super Bowl with washed up Taylor Swift dating Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, who is still a rookie, by the way, and then...
Hey, there he is. Mr. Pfizer.
Nah, Travis still great. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I'm not relying on this version of Travis Kelce anymore. He's clearly lost the step. That's just a fact. If you watch football, you could tell Travis Kelce has lost the step. Rashee Rice is a rookie. I'm not going to rely on a rookie to be my number one receiver for the entirety of this season.
Unless
down
it's
the
Quentin
stretch.
Johnston.
Oh my God. in an AFC that's absolutely loaded. And yes, the defense is great. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But the last few weeks, it hasn't quite been what we've expected the Kansas City Chiefs defense to be. So I look at it like they're done for this season. The dynasty ain't over because they have the best GM in the entire NFL, or second, whichever way you want to put it, behind the Eagles, Howie Roseman, if you want to go to San Fran, John Lynch. But regardless, the dynasty is not over. This season is a wash. Not a wash. They'll make it far in the playoffs, whatever, but they have no chance of winning the Super Bowl. I'll put it like that. Like, quite literally, for me, 0% chance the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl. It's that simple. The skill position players just ain't there. Pacheco's awesome, but it ain't enough. In my personal opinion, it ain't enough. It's not like it's a generational defense. It's a great defense. It's not generational. You don't have the skill position players, but way too early prediction, they'll be right back next year and they will win the Super Bowl. Because they'll get Mike Evans, they'll probably draft another guy, and then there you go. But they know what they're doing there. They built a great defense, but this year, no. Kansas City's done.
I just can't get behind that.
Yeah,
I agree with everything you said, but I cannot count out Patrick Mahomes.
Nope.
Can't count out Travis Kelce either. I don't think Travis Kelce is washed.
Washed is crazy.
When I say washed, I mean he's clearly lost the step.
He came into the season banged up. He missed week 1.
Yes.
There's not a doubt in my mind that Travis Kelce is going to have a huge game for this team come playoff time. Not a doubt in my mind. He'll erupt in the playoffs.
His girl's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's just playoffs. She's
Facts.
He's bad boy.
Pop off.
Stop, bro.
No, but I mean...
You got more?
No. Since
got a blank space now. Fuck.
Since week 8, a loss to the Broncos, a loss to the Eagles, a game that shouldn't have been as close as it was against the Raiders, and now this past loss to the Packers. The reason why I'm not that concerned with this loss is because it wasn't a lot of the problems that came from the previous 2 losses. Yeah, the skill position players were underwhelming once again. It looked like Pat Mahomes had no help out there. It looked like all season that Pat Mahomes also hasn't been himself. That has to be noted. You know, he's had moments of brilliance and greatness, but also there's been moments where it's like, damn, Patrick Mahomes normally makes a play there.
Yeah.
But this past week against the Packers, their defense, I think, got exposed. Jordan Love and the Packers did whatever they wanted.
Exposed.
No, but Jordan Love and the Packers did whatever they wanted. I mean, Jordan Love's been on a tear as of recently. I don't know if we're going to go too in-depth on that because we
did talk about him last week.
Yeah, we spoke about the Packers last week. We're not surprised by this. We all said the Packers are going to get into the playoffs. So the Chiefs, I'm concerned. This is a problem, especially seeing the defense get exposed like this. We haven't seen them in this situation yet, I feel like, this year where, yeah, like no matter what, in a football game, you're going to need your offense to put up points and you're going to need to score points. But we haven't seen them in a situation where the defense has let them down and they really needed the offense to put up points to keep them in a game. So that's a little bit interesting. I think the defense will be fine. It was just one of those games. Jordan Love is arguably the second hottest quarterback in football right now. He's fucking sexy, and
he is. He's a good-looking dude.
But yeah, so I don't doubt the Chiefs defense will get back to form. I think Travis Kelce will get back to form and he'll get healthier. So I'm not concerned with the Chiefs.
So,
do I have them as a Super Bowl favorite? No.
No.
Would I be shocked if they win the Super Bowl? No. Not at all.
So their last stretch of games here is versus Buffalo, at New England, versus Vegas, versus Cincinnati, at LA. So Pat Mahomes could go on a tear where he reminds us who he is.
Yeah.
And
still
just
won't have a
wash
shot at
away
winning the
all
Super
our-
Bowl.
I just don't agree, man. I think when you have Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, like, anything's possible, man. Shout out Kevin Garnett. Anything's possible.
Real quick, I do want to say also, to the Chiefs defense being as bad as it was this week, Nick Bolton is also out. He's mainly their defensive play caller.
Yeah.
He's been injured. That's a huge loss. One of the best
who
linebackers
else?
in the entire league. Justin Reed missed a few plays.
I
saw that.
No, the other linebacker.
The other
Because they had the
linebacker.
third string linebacker,
Yes.
and Drew Tranquil got hurt.
Yes,
And they
Tranquil
had
got hurt as well.
Some third stringer in there.
Yes.
So, like, Bro had happy feet, too. Oh, my God. He was
made
so
a couple-
excited. He did make a couple plays.
solid
He was
plays,
so
though.
excited to be out there, though.
It was. But that
He was hitting,
needs
like,
to
the
be
foot
mentioned.
fires pre-snap. He was
They're
hyped.
big time. They're, like, Nick Bolton is big time. Drew Tranquil is a very good backup. And look, you're missing them. Justin Reed missed a couple plays in this game. Not many, but he missed a couple. And all in all, I mean, the defense should be fine. I would expect it to be, but I said what I said, and I stand on that.
I don't know. I think it's crazy to count Pat Mahomes
Yeah, I
out.
think that's,
I'm counting
that's
his ass
outlandish.
out.
On the other side of the ball,
Last year, everyone counted him out.
it's
didn't.
true.
He lost Tyreek Hill. I guarantee we didn't have a podcast last NFL preseason and offseason. I guarantee you would have got up there when they lost Tyreek Hill. You would have got up there and said they're not
Mahomes
winning the
is
Super
done.
Bowl.
No, I guarantee I
When they
wouldn't have-
lost
I wouldn't
Tyreek-
have called them to win the fucking Super Bowl. Like, I'm calling them to win the Super Bowl next year before they even do anything. But, like,
When they lost Tyreek, you would have said they were done.
I
too.
don't agree. I don't agree.
I think so. On the other side of the ball, Love is in the air, but his future is in Green Bay. I mean, that's cute. That's
Yeah, man.
Their remaining schedule is at the Giants, versus Tampa Bay, at Carolina, at Minnesota, and versus Chicago. That's how many games? 5. They could go 5-0 in this stretch.
So,
They really could.
like,
I know we talked about them last week, so we don't have to go too in depth, but
no, I'll just say a couple things real quick because for me, last week, looking at Green Bay, I was like, yeah, they'll probably make the playoffs, but do I think they're like anything? Then I decided to, like, go back and look at some things. So Jordan Love's last 5 games. They've opened the playbook for him. That's number one. And it seems like Matt LaFleur trusts the guy. So over his last 5, he has a 66.1 completion percentage. He has 1,373 yards, just about 15 yards under 300 per game, 11 touchdowns and 2 picks. He's the 5th highest graded passer per PFF, the 3rd highest graded quarterback under pressure, 2nd highest graded on deep balls. He's been 15 of 25, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 451 yards on deep balls. 4th in EPA and adjusted EPA per play, and 5th in success rate. And then you think it's been mostly on his shoulders with an inefficient A.J. Dillon, and Aaron Jones has been out for most of these games. So no legit vet receiver as Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, second-year players. Dontavion Wicks and Jaden Reed, rookies. And then the 2 tight ends, rookies. So Jordan Love, I'm so sorry for disrespecting you.
same.
I was so wrong. You are him. Why would I ever doubt Green Bay and their quarterback carousel? That's just,
True.
One after the other after the other. Yeah,
Could be their
they
third
found
straight
another
Hall
one.
of Fame quarterback.
They
Yeah.
found another one. So
Christian Watson feels like he might be one of those guys that just has a 4-week stretch every year where he's one of the best receivers in football.
and then gets hurt
yeah, and then gets hurt.
again
But
and again.
yeah, Love is here. Love is here to stay.
How do you feel?
I mean, Jordan Love's been on a tear the past 5 games. They're 4-1 over that stretch. Like you said, the most surprising part is they're dealing with the Aaron Jones injury. They're dealing with their O-line not being great in terms of run blocking, dealing with an inefficient A.J. Dillon, and they're asking Jordan Love to sling the ball, and they're putting the ball in his hands and pretty much saying, "Win us this game." there's some quarterbacks who, they get the ball in their hand and they're being asked to not lose the game.
Yeah.
He's being asked to go out there and win games, and he's delivering. Like you mentioned, he's been great with the deep ball, and that, it looks like that's going to be this team's identity for the next 5 years. They have all these young receivers who are great deep threats in different ways too, might I add. They have these 4 young receivers, Watson, Dubes, Wicks, and Jaden Reed, who are
another one that played a great game. And I forgot his name. He was like an undrafted guy, I think, too, but continue.
Yeah, no, they have all these guys, and they're asking them, the core of young guys, Jordan Love and then his posse of young receivers and young tight ends, they're asking them to win the game, and they're going out there and winning games. And, Rashawn Gary's been a fucking revelation for this team. He's been one of the best edge rushers in the NFL that no one's talking about, and he's kind of been the backbone of this defense that's been missing Jair Alexander for a few weeks. They keep finding a way. Like you mentioned, their remaining schedule is pretty light. We said it last week. I don't think anyone's position changed. They should be able to get into the playoffs barring a crazy meltdown. So long as they don't have some crazy type of meltdown, then they should find a way in.
Yeah. The defense is getting healthy.
Yeah, it's a very impressive win.
Yeah,
by far their most impressive win of the season so far.
They're a scary team come playoff time if this is how they're playing. Very scary team come playoff time with a healthy defense and a game wrecker in what's his name? Oh my God, Sean Gary. Yeah, and Kenny Clark getting healthy. Like, bro, Devondre Campbell just coming back. Yeah, they're Jair, bro.
I love Jair.
This is a great team. Like a very good team. That is, it's
they're mid, bro. They're mid team.
I think this team is very good.
They're
personally,
hot.
When healthy, I think they're
they're hot right now.
I don't think they're gonna cool off. I don't know if Love's gonna play.
I don't know how much I trust the young receivers. I don't know if I trust Jordan Love to maintain this level of play, and I don't know if I trust the defense to maintain this level of play. I think they have a pathway.
They've been playing with bums at corner, bro.
They have a pathway to do so because of the schedule they played. Like I said, this was by far their best game of the season and most impressive game of the season. I don't think this is who the Green Bay Packers are, going head-to-head with the Kansas City Chiefs and pretty much dominating them for the entire game. I don't think that's who the Green Bay Packers are.
Yeah.
Can they win some games?
Yeah.
Can they win some games? Can they, put up some points on the board? Hell yeah. But they're not a great team. They're pretty mid.
They've still got some holes. Yeah.
They're impressive though.
I think they're a very good football team now, and it's starting to show. Because it was all Jordan Love. We said that prior to the season. This team was either going to be good because Jordan Love is great, or they're going to be bad because Jordan Love is bad. And here we are. Like, Jordan Love is playing great, and they're 4-1 in their last 5. So I think they're a good football team, a really good one at that.
They're cool.
Yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs, it would be a little bit embarrassing.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, you just beat the
You
Chiefs,
got the Giants, the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Vikings, and the Bears. Be pretty embarrassing if they don't. You don't even have to win out, but if they win out, they might win the division.
That's what I was thinking too. What's Detroit's schedule even looking like right now? Because that's a big deal. If they win out, and
you got it.
Yeah,
he's pulling it up right now. That would be some shit.
The Lions have the Bears, the Broncos, the Vikings, the Cowboys, and the Vikings again.
They should
definitely a harder schedule than the Packers, but still an easy schedule.
Yeah,
they'll be fine.
Agreed.
Yeah, the Packers should get in though. Shout out to them. Shout out to Jordan Love. I don't know.
All right, moving on. Another team that might sneak their way into the playoffs that I don't think any of us expected to. Out in L.A., something's cooking over these past couple of games. The Rams defeat the Cleveland Browns. I just fucking had the score. I fucking looked it up. I lost it for something else.
I want to say it was like 34-19.
36-19. They beat the Browns. The week before, they beat the Cardinals 37-14. They've been on a tear. Matt Stafford, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception over his last 2 games. Puka Nakua's balling out. He's looking like he's getting back to form. I think he left this game early.
He did.
Yeah.
He came back.
He came back.
He missed like a whole quarter.
Yeah, Puka's been great. Kyron Williams has been on a tear the last 2 games coming back. Cooper Kupp could be getting back to form. I don't know. He's still looking a little banged up out there.
Never going to be healthy again, bro.
But the Rams, their upcoming schedule is at Baltimore versus Washington versus New Orleans, at the Giants, at San Fran. So 2 rough games in there, but do we think the Rams can sneak into the playoffs?
So before the season, I said you have Matt Stafford, Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald. You're bare minimum going to win 7. They're at 6. Puka's just a fucking revelation. What was it? I think it's a shoulder injury. I don't know for sure. Oblique. Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah, so this team, I don't want to overreact because it hasn't been the stiffest of competition to this point. The last 2 weeks especially, because the Browns had Joe Flacco playing quarterback. And Flacco,
he looked good.
Might I add, really did not play bad until the last few plays of the game where he threw a really bad underthrown ball that got picked off. All in all, Flacco was not bad, but we're not here to talk about Joe Flacco.
Looking like Vince Carter on the Hawks.
What happened?
He looks like Vince Carter on the Hawks.
It's a good comparison. Vince Carter still threw up some dunks in the Hawks, you know?
Facts. Flacco still has that fastball a little bit in him. So I'm not gonna lie. Maybe the Browns can at least stay somewhat competitive with Joe Flacco. Who knows? But as for the Rams, Stafford coming back these last 3 games just so happens to coincide with a 3-game win streak. Wow, what a surprise. A great quarterback helps you win football games. The defense has been solid. Not great, but solid. It has the pieces to be a good defense. It's just super young. And yeah, I mean, the offense is humming and it's healthy right now. We're talking about a team that's 5th in offensive EPA over the last 3 games, 4th in success rate, 7th in dropback EPA. It's a bunch of good stuff. Like they look good. Kyron Williams being back helps a ton.
The diamond in the rough, man.
Oh my God. This is look, these running backs are starting to prove to you that you really don't need to draft them high, which is sad, and it's just the truth of the matter. And yeah, I mean, I think they'll potentially sneak in the playoffs. I'd have to look at schedules for every other team. They're, in my opinion, what a mid-football team is. That's how I would look at it. They're a mid-football team. But when you have the pieces that they have, I mean, look, you can win any game. When you have Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka, Donald, Sean McVay, you can win any game. But
yeah, they don't really move me. I get they're on a 3-game win streak, but right before that was a 3-game losing streak.
They lost.
They
got the brakes beat
Stafford
off them.
wasn't playing.
He didn't play.
Did he play? He didn't
one
play
of
against
those.
Cowboys,
He missed
right?
2 of those games, I think.
No, he played versus the Cowboys. He must have got hurt versus the Cowboys then.
That is the game that he got hurt, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they still
were
got
getting smoked
blown
either
out.
way.
Yeah. I don't know. This team's just their defense isn't good. It's cool. They have some young, exciting pieces. I love their linebackers, but defense isn't really that good. Puka's banged up. Cooper Kupp's banged up now. The O-line isn't really good. I don't know. This team don't really move me. Congrats on the win versus Joe Flacco, but I'm not moved. I don't think they're missing the playoffs.
Yeah. So the Vikings, Packers, Rams, Seahawks are all 6-6 right now.
Yeah. I'm taking the
Vikings
Seahawks
ain't going
over them.
nowhere. Fuck the Vikings.
Oh, I thought you meant like they're staying there. I was like, are you sure about that?
No, they're not making the playoff. I heard it. Whoa.
Damn, Eli. You gotta chill out, bro.
I'm just gonna do the rest of the podcast like this.
Yeah, but no, they're not making it. Obviously, we know the Cowboys have one of those.
Fucking things pissing me off, bro.
What the hell?
We know the Cowboys have one of those wild card spots. I think personally the Seahawks get one of them, and then the Packers get the other one. There's no chance for the Rams.
So if the
There's 3, right?
The Cowboys are getting
Cowboys are locking 1.
Oh, Falcons are 6-6 as well. I'm sorry.
Falcons are winning the division.
Right.
Saints ain't doing shit.
Saints are 5-7. Tampa Bay.
What's
also
the
5-7.
remaining schedule for the Rams?
It was
the Ravens,
Yep.
the Commanders, the Saints, the Giants, the Niners.
So they
2
should
games
have,
they lose.
They
definitely.
should win 3 games in that. Should.
3 in a row. They'd have to win 3 in a row.
And I mean, they could very
I was
well
about to say
beat
they
San
beat the
Fran.
Niners.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say too.
San Fran could be resting guys in Week 18.
And also McVay has Shanahan's number one way or another.
Yeah.
So Or is it the other? It's the other way around. Sorry, Shanahan has
everyone's
McVay's number.
it seems.
But
Except
McVay
Jim
wins.
Schwartz.
McVay won the one game that mattered the most in the NFC Championship. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
The
so
team
if
don't move me.
no,
Yeah,
me
that's
neither.
fair.
But that doesn't mean that they can't make the playoffs.
I don't think they make the playoffs.
So Seahawks, I feel like we've gone over their schedule a million
Probably.
times.
Yeah.
But I'll pull it up.
I think the Commanders beat the Rams in a Sam Howell masterclass.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, bro.
Seahawks are at San Fran versus Philly, at Tennessee versus Pittsburgh, at Arizona. Oh, Christ. I was just at the most inopportune time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So at San Fran versus Philly, they theoretically should lose the next two.
Okay.
And then Tennessee, Pittsburgh,
No.
Arizona.
Not by all the fucking wires.
Yeah,
and
no,
shit.
it's gonna
Please,
end.
no.
That's
Tennis-
gonna end something, bro. Like it's gonna knock everything over somehow.
So Seattle should go 3-2 in theory.
I don't know.
So it's tough. But
Seattle has more talent than this team.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. But like they ain't done shit with their talent this year. So I
um,
don't know. They look good against the Cowboys though.
what I want to point out that's interesting, I think, so if the playoffs start today, Eagles get the bye, Niners play the Packers, the Lions play that 6 seed. If the Packers jump up to that 6 seed, they could really pull that off.
I was about to say that.
I
was about to say that.
I would love for that to happen.
Give me a Detroit
I love.
versus Green Bay. Give me a Detroit Green
Versus
Bay
Jordan.
first round match. That's a nice.
I would
little,
love that.
That's a
yeah.
nice little thing right there.
And then the Cowboys get the Falcons. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Cowboys would get the Falcons in the first
Oh
round of the
my
playoffs.
god. That doesn't do them any good, to be honest. It doesn't even prepare them for the following week at all. That's unfortunate.
All right, so that's the Rams, and that's everything we've got. It is TikTok o'clock.
All right.
What do you
Bro,
want
we
us to
don't
talk
want
about?
to. He wants us to talk about Daniel Jones. There's
What the
nothing
fuck
to
am I
talk
gonna say
about.
about Danny?
He hasn't
I don't
played
even
in
know who that
weeks.
is anymore.
He hasn't played in
Nick,
weeks.
what am I gonna say about Daniel Jones?
We'll talk about that when the time comes. That's not.
That's an off-season thing.
Tommy Cutlet's Tom.
Huh.
It is Tommy Cutler's time.
All right.
It's time for us to score 10 points and unfortunately win football games.
Just like that's giant football, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, ready?
TikTok o'clock.
Which NFL running back would you rather have based on their pre-draft scouting report?
Ooh.
All right. So player A, the pros are this player is as compact and coiled an athlete that the running back position has seen since AP. He is a heady and instinctual player who is patient enough to wait for blocks to develop within the scheme and quick enough to change course and cut backfield to daylight. The cons are he may have more trouble getting to the perimeter at the next level and won't beat fast outside linebackers on angles alone. He ran behind a very good experienced offensive line at blank college. Player B, the pros are one of the biggest running backs you'll ever see. Rare top-end speed for a runner his size. The cons are average foot quickness can lead to tackles for losses if he gets too cute in the backfield, ineffective in the passing game with below-average hands.
Good luck subtitling all that, by the way. That's going to be fun. Well, I'm going to say that one got compared to Adrian Peterson and one didn't. So I'm going to take the guy that got compared to Adrian Peterson. Give me player A.
I'm going to take player A.
Player A was Trent Richardson, and player B was Derrick Henry.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Trent Richardson was a dog, man.
Richardson was a
Compared
dog.
to Adrian
The real
Peterson.
ones know. The real ones know.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. I have another one. Compare these NFL players. No. Who are these NFL players? NBA comparisons. We'll start it off with the MVP frontrunner, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Oh,
Mr. Irrelevant.
All right. A lot of help around him. Right?
Not viewed as one of the best guys in the league.
Yeah.
but
like
is talented.
putting up crazy numbers. I got it. De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, fuck.
De'Aaron Fox.
That's not what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
You said putting up numbers, but not viewed as one of the more talented guys. I was going to say Julius Randle. But I feel like it's kind of disrespectful.
That is so disrespectful to Brock Purdy.
Brock hasn't got
De'Aaron
much
Fox is
playoff
tough because it's not the same like play style. That's not like obviously.
He's not like explosively athletic,
but
he's also not a big
how
bruiser like
we
Julius
would talk
Randle.
about them in like discourse is how I'm kind of like putting things together.
Yeah, you got to stop.
Pete. Stop,
So
bro.
distracting.
I just hear that shit.
Just leave it, bro. Nah, we're good, bro. We got enough.
Talking about like an MVP level guy. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with that. Fuck it.
All right. The next guy is AJ Brown.
Just an absolute dog.
Bruiser.
Yeah, dog. One of the best at his position.
Oh my God, we're coming back.
Okay.
Give me.
All right.
I
I got a
first.
crazy comparison. This is not a good comparison at all. Giannis.
I get it. Physical specimen.
Yeah, I was gonna go. I said give me Zion.
That's a great
Minus the health issues, but yeah,
fucking pick. It's a great pick.
just beats the hell out of everybody he goes up against.
Yes.
And talent for talent, he's better than most players.
Like he's top 3 at his position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then the last guy, Dalvin Cook.
Oh my God.
Russell Westbrook.
No,
not Russell
That's
Westbrook.
disrespecting Russ.
Yeah, that is disrespecting Russ. I just thought of someone.
Dalvin was great for a very long time.
He wasn't Russ great.
And now he's washed.
Yeah.
There's only one answer.
Oh.
Klay Thompson.
Yes, I'm with that. Yeah,
Klay Thompson. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Klay Thompson is Dalvin Cook.
Great for a very long time. Yeah. A little reliant on the players around him, offensive line. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm with
I got
that.
one.
That's a good one.
All right. This is, where is it? Who Said That? NFL Trash Talk Edition. So this one's going to be an obvious one, but you can't talk NFL trash talk and not have this moment in there. I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
Richard Sherman.
It was Richard Sherman.
Woohoo.
Michael Crabtree getting bitched.
One of those, yeah.
consistently.
Poor Michael Crabtree, man. He got absolutely owned. And poor woman that was interviewing Richard Sherman. She did not know how to handle all that interview.
Was it Aaron Andrews?
Couldn't tell
I think it
you.
was.
I remember watching that, like when it happened, and I was thinking to myself, like, damn, if I ever make it to the NFL, this is how I'm going to act on my press conferences.
If I ever make it to the NFL.
There's still time, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This next player, one of my favorite players ever, honestly. He was beefing hard with a defender on the other team. Beefing hard. And the other player left the game early, and all this guy had to say about the interaction was, "Ice up, son. Ice up."
I got no
You don't know this clip?
I don't know that.
I might not have
Beefing up-
explained it well.
Beefing with a defender?
Okay. I'll give you the,
Wait.
since you guys don't know it.
I'm going to just take a guess. Andre Johnson?
No. On the right track, though.
Jerry Rice.
No. Less on the right track. He was beefing with Aqib Talib, and Aqib Talib, I believe, got thrown out of the game.
Oh.
So this guy went up. They asked him. They were like, "What do you have to say about Aqib Talib?" And he just goes, "Ice up, son." He said, "You're gonna have to ask him. Ice up, son. Ice up."
Who the fuck? Aqib Talib.
If you watch the actual clip, it's hard.
I don't know why I want to say AJ Green, but it's not AJ.
You're in the right era.
Wait, Andre Johnson and AJ Green were really not overlapping much. Were they?
A little bit. Andre was a bit older, I guess.
Oh my God, bro. In the right era of Andre Johnson. Chad Ochocinco.
No.
That would be early Aqib Talib.
Michael Crabtree?
No. It was Steve Smith Sr.
Oh,
That makes so much.
Look up that clip when you can. It's
That makes so
awesome.
much
I
sense.
fucking love it. All right. This next one is it was more of a situation. This player just kept reciting a series of numbers. Like on first down, he would do 3 numbers. Second down, he would do 3 numbers. Third down, he did 4. And the numbers turned out to be the phone number of the girlfriend of Derek Thomas, who is a Hall of Fame linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was calling out his girlfriend's number on the field, and he drew 2 personal fouls. With he got a face mask on one and another personal foul on another one. This is an older player.
I've heard the story before.
I've never heard this story before I looked this up. That is fucking crazy. And Derek Thomas was like a madman.
is it a receiver?
Not a wide receiver, no.
What? He's a tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A tight receiver.
tight receiver.
Tight end that talked a lot of shit. Derek Thomas time.
Shannon Sharp.
That's exactly who I
Unc
thought.
Shannon Sharp himself.
That's
yeah.
exactly who
Called
I thought.
out his girlfriend's number. That is fucking crazy.
That is
Her
not.
phone number.
That's a Shannon Sharp thing.
And this next one, not really. I guess it is a trash talk moment. This quarterback goes into overtime and calls a coin toss. He wins the coin toss. Would you like to kick or receive? He says, "We want the ball and we're going to score." He threw a touchdown to the other team on the first play of overtime.
This was like recent, no?
No, not that recent.
Matt Schaub.
Almost.
Fuck.
Matt Ryan.
Almost.
Matt Hasselbeck.
That's the one. The Seattle Seahawks. He literally said, "We want the ball and we're going to score." And he scored
Nice.
for the
other
wrong team. He threw a pick 6, first drive. All right. And the last one, this team is absolutely cooking the Patriots. And this guy picks up a phone on the sideline and calls the president and tells him to call the National Guard because
It's-
we're killing the Patriots.
It's Shannon Sharp.
It
as
is
well.
Shannon Sharp. He just those were just 2 really good trash
That's
talk
so
moments.
iconic.
Yeah.
My personal favorite trash talk moment of NFL wasn't even in a game. It was DeAndre Hopkins and D'Angelo Hall beefing.
Oh my God.
And D'Angelo Hall was like going at him, and DeAndre Hopkins just looked at him and said, "I fear God, homie." He's like, "I fear God."
And
And
then
then literally ended D'Angelo Hall's season. He
tore his ACL.
career, honestly.
he tore his ACL.
Did all of that. Yeah, that was the most legendary moment, in my personal opinion, of trash talk, honestly.
Yeah, that's definitely
That shit is crazy.
top one. Literally ended a man's career.
Is that everything?
That's all
I got one more.
Cool.
Gotta throw one of these in here. I know we hate them, but we gotta.
Fuck.
Which NFL receiver would you rather have based on their stats? All right. Player A has 85 targets, 59 receptions, 991 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Player B has 118 targets, 69 receptions, 814 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
I mean, you just kind of have to take player A, more yards and more touchdowns.
Yeah, you have to take player A.
Player A is Nico Collins, and player B is Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Jesus.
Nico Collins to the moon.
Nico Collins to the moon.
My dynasty wide receiver one.
RIP Tank though.
Yeah.
Get better.
Chris,
Man.
good week, man.
Yo, I almost did it, bro.
You lost by like 60.
Yeah, but he almost did it.
Bro, I put up 113 or
Did you
something.
guys see what I did to...
Respectable.
Well, obviously you didn't. Did you see what I did to Dean and BTB?
Yeah, I saw.
Jeez, I put up 210.
Bro,
and he had
I put up
113.
215 on Pete. He had
Did you
108.
really? Jesus, bro. Oh, my God. He really...
I had Nico, CeeDee Lamb, Mixon, Dak, Puka. It's crazy.
Bro. Oh, my God. I don't think he had his chop, buddy.
And then in the other league, he put up like 57.
Pete, why are you so bad at fantasy football? That's why, yes.
I'm not on the
That's
field.
why. That's why.
All right.
Yo, big shout out real quick. Shout out Jason Piccolmini, bro. Shout out to him for losing in Dynasty, so I might not have to play him in the second round of the playoffs. Love that. Love
Shout
to
out
see it.
Pickles.
Shout out Pickles, man. All right. Well, do I still get to
I don't have an outro plan, so you can go ahead.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you stuck around for the full thing, really do appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. We do have to do ad reads real quick.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
Shout out to our partners over at Thrive Fantasy. If you guys don't know, Thrive Fantasy is the best daily fantasy sports game on the market. And when you sign up for Thrive Fantasy and use code BallGamePod, they'll match your first deposit up to $250. Again, that is code BallGamePod for a first-time deposit match up to $250 on Thrive Fantasy.
It's free money, man.
Free shout out to our partners over at SeatGeek, the best ticketing app on the market by far. It's a playoff push for the NFL. The NBA in-season tournament is close to getting finished up right now. We're getting into high gear in the NBA season. You guys are going to want to go get tickets, and you're going to go get tickets with SeatGeek. Why? Because you can use code BallGamePod on your first purchase with SeatGeek for $20 off. Again, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, and to make things even easier, they grade each deal on a scale of 1 to 10, with green being a good deal and red being a bad deal, so you know exactly what you're getting with the ticket up there and the view of your seat. So big shout out to our guys over at SeatGeek. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that stuff. I already said it, but follow us on all of our socials. And with that, ball game.
Ball game.
Ball game.